Hey everyone, my name is Airon White. I'm a manager of product marketing here at BigCommerce. And with me today, I have several members of our BigCommerce cybersecurity team. Jordan Bodily, Abhijeth Dugginapeddi, Susan Phillips, Dyche, and Irene Kwon. We want to empower merchants with meaningful tips and strategies on how to safeguard their organizations. And we've pulled together the top cybersecurity questions from prospects and merchants. And today, we'll be answering them. Let's dive in. So this first question is for Adam. Adam, what are your top tips or best practices for cybersecurity that merchants should really know about?
Thank you, Erin. So for cybersecurity for our merchants, I would highly recommend that they start by enabling two-factor authentication because it's a more secure method than two-factor verification, where you would typically receive an email push with a PIN. With two-factor authentication, you instead receive a push notification to your actual physical device. In this case, BigCommerce typically uses Authy, which is a great way for merchants to further secure their actual accounts to log into BigCommerce stores. Secondly, I would definitely recommend the use of the optimized one-page checkout because it does provide higher security features such as iframe credit card fields, additional fraud protection, and bot detection to prevent malicious actors from abusing your payment processor. Thirdly, for PCI, I would highly recommend that you enable X-frame options within your BigCommerce control panel, as well as the HSTS security headers to force HTTPS connections. Lastly, I would highly recommend the use of a canary token, as that would help you be alerted to potential site cloning via a honeypot. For more information about that, I would highly recommend you speaking with your web developers, as they would have more information on how to set that up for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Adam. And for those of you who would like to set up your two-factor authentication, learn more about PCI, we do have knowledge base articles about this. You can get that set up in your control panel very easily and learn more how to do that in our Merchant Support Center. Jordan, next question is for you. What are some practical ways that a merchant can combat social engineering? I know that's a big topic today, that lots of people are being targeted. So what could they do to combat it?
Certainly. Yeah. So during the holiday season, definitely don't share sensitive information, whether that be maybe you sold to a high profile customer, or maybe you are partnering with someone during the holiday season. Sharing that information can also make them become a target. And they may even be targeted in attempts to try to elevate to you. So you could be the next target. But by protecting your third parties, in this sense, you also protect yourself.
Awesome. That's really great ideas to keep everybody safe during this holiday season when everybody's shopping online. My next question is for Abby. Abby, how does BigCommerce ensure that our platform is safe and secure for our merchants and for all of their shoppers?
Thanks, Aaron. This is actually one of my favorite questions to answer because almost every day I wake up excited to solve a problem, and that's what BigCommerce cybersecurity team does. BigCommerce cybersecurity team is divided into three major teams: application security, infrastructure security, and GRC and compliance. And our team is filled with engineers with diverse skills. For example, some of the tasks that we do involve penetration testing, looking at the code, reviewing designs, and making sure that the product that our merchants and shoppers use is not hackable. We try to keep attackers at bay, and we make sure the product that we are shipping is secure and reliable so that our merchants can use the store without worrying about getting hacked.
Yeah, absolutely. We do everything that we can to keep them safe during this holiday season. And when they're super busy, we are there to be on their side. Irene, I have a question for you now. Could you tell us a little bit about what a merchant or a prospect should do if they discover a security vulnerability on their website? I know this is kind of somebody's worst nightmare, but what could they do if they become attacked?
Oh no. Well, first off, don't freak out. Take a deep breath. BigCommerce is here for you. So what a merchant and prospect should do is first try to collect as much information as you possibly can about this issue. Then when you can try, we have our BigCommerce customer success team. It's available via chat, email, or phone 24/7, 365 days. So you're in great hands. The security team will, of course, try to reproduce what the merchant is seeing in order to provide support. But also, if we verify that that vulnerability exists and it's in our code, we'll try ASAP to resolve it. If we find that exists as well, and it will be added to our site through hired software engineers, and we'll let the merchants know that they have their software engineers to resolve the issue. So don't worry, you're in good hands.
Yes, absolutely. Our merchants are in the best hands, especially with this team on board. I know that there are pagers that go off when the big things like this happen. And, we hope they rarely happen, but when they do, we know we have a great, smart team just ready to help resolve them and get everybody back on track. Jordan and Adam, I have kind of a complicated question for you. So we get a lot of questions about vulnerability assessments and penetration testing. Can you shed some light on these areas of what merchants can do to conduct these kinds of tests and, dispel some of that myth around them being the same thing? Because really they're not.
Thank you, Aaron. Yes, that is indeed correct. A vulnerability assessment and a penetration test are indeed two separate things. Now, they can definitely go hand in hand in the overall security of a website. But in this case, a vulnerability assessment is typically going to be some form of automated scan. You can use specialized tools and software exists, as well as specialized companies exist that only deal with vulnerability assessments, or even a PCI assessment in this case through an approved scanning vendor. But what that vulnerability assessment essentially does is it scans the code or the website for any potential flaws that it might have, for cross-site scripting vulnerabilities where you might receive some form of unsolicited pop-up if you go to the site and do something special, or code might be injected into the database through an input form. So these vulnerability assessments are designed to possibly detect those vulnerabilities to determine if they may or may not exist. And then that's when it would then go into a penetration test.
Jordan, what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, so he's absolutely right. So vulnerability assessments, like you said, normally start off with an automated approach. Once you want to start verifying things manually, or whenever you want to start dissecting really a storefront completely, this is when you start stepping into the territory of a penetration test. A penetration test is often much more has a broader scope to it, because you're not only looking at the code that the site is loading, but you may also be looking at the requests that are happening on the storefront too. Maybe you're trying to find a way to manipulate a request. Again, this is someone typically in seat trying to perform this. Again, you can do some of this with automated scanning, but you're not going to be able to dissect the code or the request fully until you have someone in seat to do that. And in order for someone to do a penetration test, this really depends on, you should be asking yourself, do I need a pen test? First off, a lot of times, and Adam mentioned this as well, is a lot of times customers may have their own PCI compliance requirements, and a PCI pen test by an approved company is needed in order to fulfill their own PCI requirements. Should you have questions about penetration testing, or you think that you need fall in scope to where yourself have to do a pen test, definitely contact support, and they can work with us, so that way we give you the appropriate documentation on what that approach looks like. And really the big thing here is, we understand that when a penetration test is performed, you're not only validating security controls on our end, but you're also trying to achieve a goal. So while we do have a rules of engagement for a penetration test, we definitely understand that there are things in place that may stop you. We can work with you on that. Or simply, even when you're done with the penetration test, you're going to have some type of report at the end. And, typically you may have your team internally review it. If y'all find something that truly is impacting your website, then again, our team can work with you to verify those findings and seek remediation should that exist on the BigCommerce platform.
Wow, that's a really great service and support that you guys provide to our merchants if they have to go through these different types of assessment and tests. I think that you put a lot of our merchants' minds at ease with all of that. And Susan and Abby, haven't really had a lot to ask you today, but I have a really important question for the both of you. What are the advantages that diversity and inclusion in cybersecurity provides?
I am an example of diversity in engineering. I always have been my full career, and I live the fact that it is an advantage. We at BigCommerce, we put a lot of focus on diversity and inclusion. We try to bring in diverse groups for challenging endeavors, security is one of those challenging endeavors. We spend a lot of time analyzing things, not from a perspective of how they should work, but how they could work or how they could be broken. So the more diverse the set of skills we have on the team, the better off we are in analyzing problems. It actually leads to faster problem solving. Diversity ends up causing us to question our assumptions. That's maybe the most important thing in trying to come to an analysis, a true analysis of how to solve a problem. And this team at BigCommerce is great. If you look at all of the folks you've talked to today, you see an example of diversity and inclusion. Every time we onboard a new person, we think about how can we make this more diverse. And I love that about this team. Abby, is there anything you can add to that?
That's a great answer, Susan. I think one thing we all agree is that cybersecurity is like a ever-evolving field. Every day there's a new problem. Every day there's a new attack scenario. Almost every time there's a new technology that's introduced, there are new problems that needs to be resolved. When we have new problems evolving every day, we need different mindsets who are able to look at the problem in a completely different scenario based on their background, based on their education, based on where they come from. And that's why building a cybersecurity team that is multi-faced and that is diverse is extremely important. And at BigCommerce, we fundamentally believe that our team is built with people from different backgrounds and people with different skills. We encourage our team members to gain new skills outside of just what's happening in their roles and use their background, use their childhood experiences to be able to solve problems and to be able to come up with answers that maybe someone from a different background hasn't thought about.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I really love about working with this team is that this is such a diverse team. It is a global team. We are a global company. We have merchants all over the world, and we have folks on the team from all over the world. And you all make security approachable and easily consumed and supported. You empower all of us here at BigCommerce to be a champion of security. And, that's just something that helps all of us really take it seriously, support all of our merchants and their customers, and make me feel good as a consumer too, just shopping online, knowing that there are folks out here that have our best interest at mind and bring so much different diversity from your backgrounds to the table to help solve all of these problems and to make sure that they actually don't happen to our customers. So thank you so much for all that you do for BigCommerce, for all of our customers, our partners, and their shoppers, and all of the information that you've all shared here today. If you liked what you heard today and want more insights from our other security thought leaders, be sure to check out BigCommerce's blog and our social channels for more content on all things cybersecurity. Also, check out our Platform Trust Center, where you can review all of our security details about the BigCommerce platform, unlock documents, get more information on how we keep our platform secure. Thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.